Okay, so after a long day racing, this crossed my mind. What do these tires go through when we launch our car? I want to introduce you to my good friend Carl Swift. He's also known as Mr. Unbeatable at the racetrack. He's logged countless, well, not countless, but a lot of wins, countless for me. So, Carl, let's talk about weight transfer. Transferring the weight from the front wheels to the back wheels so that we get as much weight back there as possible. What is the importance of that?
Well, when you get a tire that hooks up, it wants to go in one direction, but the rear end wants to go in the opposite direction. Well, when that happens, it wants to lift the car up. And as you're lifting the car up, you're transferring the front to the back. You're making the back of the car heavier, which pushes the tire down. Back in the old days, they used to jack the engines up way up in the air to get that weight already going.
Which you'll see a picture of this as the car's already transferred the weight back before it's even moving.
They were lifting those engines so high up in the frame that they finally put a limit of 24 inches from the pavement to the center of the crank. So, but they're up real high. But then they ran a big tire in the back, which was tall, because they had all this horsepower. So they had to run a massive tire, and they had the front end jacked up as far as it would go. So the car looked level, but the weight transfer was already there. And when you see pictures of cars that are lifting the front end, that means all of the weight of that car is on those back tires.
Which is going to help you with your traction so you can hook and launch.
Yeah, big time hook and launch. If you're not hooking, you're spinning.
If you're spinning, you're not winning.
Yeah, if you're spinning, you're wasting time.
So we need to transfer the weight from the front of the car to the back of the car so we can put the weight on the tires that go back here.
Right.
So once we've got that weight transferred, then we need the right tire to hook, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk tires.
Right. Now, the tires are the big secret. They're the big piece of info. If you notice, from the rim to the top of the tire, how close he is to the pavement. Now, if you look over here, you'll see from the rim to the pavement, there's a lot of tire. Now, I've got these.
And he's referring to sidewalls.
Right. These tires will wrinkle as you let air out of them. And as you let air out of them, that means the tire comes down and you have a bigger footprint. And you just keep doing that until you get that where it works for you. So, but you got to start out with a tall tire. These and road racing good are not. They're no good for drag racing.
Because the sidewall doesn't have flex, and so it's good for road racing when you're cornering.
Right.
But the height of the sidewall is not good for drag racing because it does not have enough height to be allowed to wrinkle. Instead, in order to give, it's just going to spin.
Right.
Where this one has these sidewall.
If I was to let 5 pounds out of here, they would be horizontal wrinkles from the wheel turning and the tire not.
Well,
These are really called wrinkle wall tires. These tires will wrinkle, and as that tire gets less and less air, you get a bigger footprint. Here's something else too. These are complete slip. That means you got 100% of the rubber on the pavement. Look at all the grooves in here. That alone, you've lost traction because you have less rubber
on the road
to make contact with the pavement. So tires are huge.
Well, I have 20-inch wheels, and these are 15-inch wheels.
Yes.
And yet this one on the 15-inch wheels will actually hook better and give better traction, and there's slicks, than my 20-inch wheel that is a Mickey Thompson drag radio.
Right.
Partly because more surface area of rubber, and partly because the walls are designed to give some flex, which we call wrinkle,
Right.
so that when the launch, the tire can absorb some of that energy and then put that energy into the ground,
Right.
from the wheel to the ground.
So these are a short tire because I have a 410 rear end and 25.5-inch tall tire, because that's what works for my car, because I don't have a lot of horsepower. He needs to get a tire with this much sidewall on his, and then run a full slick instead of tires with grooves, because you lost some of the surface. And when he accomplishes that, his car, his 60-foot times are going to drop immensely.
All right, this Mopar's going to have his hands full there. Let's see what we got.
Like a 17.5-inch wheel, or 17, he'll have more tire, more sidewalls that will allow him to put tire pressure wherever it works for him. But the car, when it hooks, it's going to lift the front end of the car, which means it's going to transfer the weight, because as that front end starts coming up, it's putting weight on the back of the car.
So what happens first? The tire hooking or the transfer of the weight?
When the tire hooks, it will transfer the weight.
Okay.
Because it's going to want to lift that front end up.
Okay.
And you see guys that have gassers and 56 Chevys and stuff do these giant wheelies. That's because they've eliminated tire spin, and now it's just
Hooking.
hook and go. And the hook means you're getting a hold of the drag strip. You're not spinning. Now, you might even spin a couple revolutions, but in that process, that tire's hooking so hard, you've got that footprint down because you can take air out of this tire. And it's going to wrinkle the sidewall. And as that tire pressure comes down, the footprint gets bigger. And so now,
And the footprint is the amount of rubber surface that's on the pavement.
On the pavement. The only thing he can do now is get a shorter rim, 17-inch rim, these are 20s, and then he can go to a taller tire, a wider tire, and it's all rubber.
Slick.
Yes, it's all a slick tire, and that's going to make that car become a completely new animal. He's got the horsepower, he just can't use it.
Can't get the traction.
Can't get it to hook. Once he gets that car to hook, man, he's going to drop so much time overall, but that's 60-foot time. That means he's got time slips that show what his time is from the time he moves till he gets to 60 feet. And as you get lowering that time on that 60 feet, it's going to exaggerate. It's even going to go faster now because it hooks sooner. Now it has time to develop speed. But speed is a byproduct. Don't worry about speed. If you can get that car to hook up and you can eliminate tire spin, you're going to go faster. But speed is a byproduct. I raced my grandson, who has a Trans Am. We went heads up. I went 80 miles an hour, he went 104, and I got there first.
Which is what counts. The race is about who gets to the end first.
Right. So speed meant nothing. His 24 miles an hour didn't do him any good. We're getting there pretty close at the same time, but I get there first, and he goes, "Grandpa, how can I go 25 miles an hour faster and you get there first?" Because I hook up immediately and he's back there spinning his tires.
There you go. In order to get the right tire under the Hellcat crush, I'm going to need to go with a smaller height of wheel, a shorter wheel,
Right.
shorter diameter, so
You're going to pick up another 1.5 inches of tire height.
on each side.
Right. So that's going to just give you a whole bunch of footprint.
It's going to increase my footprint, and it's going to increase my tire's ability to, on that initial surge of torque, to twist or flex rather than spin, which is the options. You're either going to flex or you're going to spin. So we need a shorter wheel with a tire that has a taller side wall with slicks.
Right.
And then we need to make sure that we're transferring our weight from the front to back so we can get everything we can get out of the footprint of this tire.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much. One thing else that we want to add is that the reason why people put skinnies on the front of their car, let's give you the reason why and the logic behind that. So Carl, you want to explain to us the skinnies? Let me show you his skinnies on his car right now. So you can see, these are his skinny tires that he has on there.
There's two things. You've got friction. The wider that tire is, more friction that you're pushing down that drag strip.
Okay.
So the narrower you go, the less friction, the less rolling weight. Plus they're lighter. These are heavy. These are almost what you have on the front, comparatively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of tire. That's a lot of weight. These things are very light, and another thing, they're narrow. They're cutting through the air just a little bit quicker.
So I've got 11.1. I'm trying to get to 10s. These skinnies would actually help me get to that 10 mark.
Yeah, if you get an alloy wheel that's lighter, a tire that's littler, it's lighter. So the whole front end of your car, you're probably getting rid of maybe 50 pounds. I don't know.
Right. Weight reduction.
That's
it takes
rolling
horsepower
weight.
to push weight.
It's taking horsepower to push that weight. Plus you got that rubber's on the rolling along, and that's drag.
Okay.
So anytime you can, if you see these real fast dragsters, they look like they have a motorcycle tire.
Yeah, well, they do, don't they? Isn't that what that is?
Real narrow. So
there's no brake on it. I noticed that.
These wheels I bought and put on the car 30 years ago. So that's what I had 30 years ago, and that's the way it is now. There's probably a lot better stuff now. I even had 550s on it at one time, really narrow little tires.
Okay.
But I went to these, and they even look a little bit better. But you want to eliminate friction, you want to eliminate air resistance. Every little thing you can eliminate and make smaller, lighter, less wind drag, less wind resistance, it all helps the car to gain a little bit more ET, a little bit more speed. But the Hellcat, it could be a 9-second car.
Someday.
It very well could, but you got to, if you can't get it to hook
If we
now,
can't get it to hook,
the horsepower
then
is just
horsepower is just going to make it worse.
right.
All right. Well, Carl, thank you for the class, the educational class, old school meet new school. And I appreciate it. And I think he's right. You got to start from the back of the car and work forward, because all you're going to do is just spin your wheels, and you're going to lose a race in the first 60 feet. And the rest is just history. And we want to build our car to go on the track at the ET we'd like to get as far as the goal, but we don't want to compromise our street, because we like driving our cars on the street too. So we're not building a strict race car. We're building a street car that will go fast on the track with a good ET.
Right. And 95% of that's going to be the tire wheel combination.
And we can put the tires on at the track and take them off and drive the car home.
There you go.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you again. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Okay, something I want to show you from today's drag racing. We marked the tire, as you can see, with a marker that's kind of like shoe polish. But do you see something wrong with this picture? When we marked the tire, we marked it so we could check the rotation and how much spinning was actually taking place when we look at the video. How many revolutions is a tire turning before it actually hooks. But when we pulled this apart, this is what we found. The mark for the tire is here, and the mark for the rim is over there. So the wheel, the tire actually spun on the wheel itself.